Larry.
Dion, the two sides of the issue. Some scores 137, that's short, but then not much else that came out of it. How do you put that down to?
Look, I think it'd be unfair to put it down to one thing. We had a couple of other batsmen that got starts and probably faced 20 to 30 balls or excessive of that. And unfortunately, we needed those batsmen to then kick on and get, I guess, a bigger contribution and contribute to a bigger partnership. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed in the fact that a couple of our other batsmen did get starts but didn't capitalise on them.
Do you think that you had that critical point when Craig and Sean looked like they were in, when that was broken, then you really just almost opened up the floodgates on the other side?
Yeah, look, there was a key partnership. Both were left-handers facing Maharaj, and we had spoken in length about how we wanted to play Maharaj, and I guess it'll be unfair to scrutinise some of the dismissals because it was within the game plans. It was just a lack of execution at times.
And how did Brian Bennett affect your plans? What do you expect from Prince Charlotte?
Yeah, obviously losing Brian is a huge blow. He's been, I guess, one of our batsmen in form, as well as a good run scorer in terms that he does score at a good strike rate throughout his innings. So losing him is a massive blow. Prince, obviously, coming from 12 man, has to switch on very quickly. Obviously, video footage could be a little contentious. I'm not too sure. And we just hope that Prince in the second innings can provide us with a good depth to our batting.
And my final question, what other superlatives are there for Sean Williams after another performance here at Queen's?
Yeah, look, I think anyone that's watched the top players score runs, and there's likenings to Andy Flower, and today's innings by Sean was probably one of the best I've seen by any Zimbabwean batsman. And the reason is Sean identified through the last couple of test matches that, look, he had got himself in, he had shifted through his gears, and probably often when he's in the 60s, 70s, and sometimes in his 80s, he fails to identify when to shift down a gear in terms of potentially taking too many risks or potentially trying to score at too high a strike rate. So today, anyone watching that innings would have noticed a noticeable shift when momentum was against us. Sean then went down a gear and he played, in my mind, one of the best innings. And some of the sweep shots that he played to Maharaj, the way he played Maharaj, you put him and Andy Flower on exactly the same pedestal. So in terms of how good that innings was, I'd say it's really up there with one of the best, and he can be very proud of his innings today.
Maybe just to take it back, Brian Bennett, how serious is the concussion? Is he out just for this game or does it?
Look, at this stage, we're monitoring him, and I guess through protocols, it's a 7-day mandatory stand down. Obviously, how he presents over the next 24, 48 hours will be key. He's resting, and we wish him well. He's not been removed from the series completely. I guess that will unfold over the coming days. And we're hoping and optimistic that he will recover, hopefully for the second test match.
And looking at how the team has performed with the bat, there have been a few stops and starts. I'd say a few soft dismissals. I'll take from Caetano to even Craig Ebrahim, how he went out soft dismissals, you'd say, even Western Madeira. How would you look for those guys really to stand up in the gap since Brian Bennett is missing?
Yeah, 100%. And there's no denying the fact that there's been soft dismissals, not only in this test match, but in previous test matches as well. So we've just spoken around responsibility and accountability, because we're very clear on how we want to play, each individual. We're very clear on our game plans, so each individual is very clear on that. And it's a matter of being disciplined enough to execute that game plan over and over and over again. So in terms of your question, look, it's a matter of each individual being able to front up in the next innings and take more responsibility and be accountable for their actions.
And lastly, talking of responsibility, in the first innings when South Africa was batting, Chivanga and Nelson Tarabani held the core in terms of picking up wickets and really keeping the scoring rate. Masakadza and Masekesa, what's the psyche in terms of being prepared for another innings without really being bashed like in the first innings?
Yeah, look, and again, it goes back to having clear plans. Each bowler, as the situation or innings unfolds, I guess those plans need to be adaptable. Our levels of execution were probably a little low at times, in particular after lunch yesterday. And again, I think all the bowlers had a good, I guess, debrief. And in terms of looking at this next innings, they're very clear on how they want to bowl on this wicket as that wicket deteriorates as well. So again, it boils down to ensuring that the game plans are very clear, the roles are very clear of the bowlers, and then it boils down to the execution of that.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.